I want to say Barak the Yahweh, Barak the Yahweh Shai, Barak the Yahweh, Barak the Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rokakadash, double honors the apostles and elders of GMS, and salutations to you brothers out there doing this work of truth sincerity. So I want to get right into it. Let me go ahead and get this. This is Psalms chapter 18, verse 27. It says, "For thou wilt save the afflicted people, but will bring down the high look." So the scripture says that the Most High Yahweh Shemel Shah will save the afflicted people. The Lord is going to deliver his people, which is the so-called Black, Hispanics, and Native Americans. He's going to deliver them with a great deliverance, like it tells you in the book of Genesis 45:7, that the Lord will deliver his people with a great deliverance. And when our people was put into captivity, going back into the time where we dwelt in Egypt, the Most High saved his people with a great deliverance. You know, he brought plagues, he brought famine, you know, he brought pestilence, you know, he put to death the firstborn of the Egyptians, you know. So that goes to show you that that was a great deliverance, that the Most High Yahweh Shemel Shai saved his people, you know. And he's going to do that all over by way of what? The chariots, man. You know, Yahweh Shemel Shai, the same way he went into the clouds is the same way he shall come back. Matter of fact, let me grab that real quick. That's the book of Revelation chapter 1 verse 7. Let me grab that real quick. This is Revelation chapter 1 verse 7, and it says, "Behold, he cometh with clouds," right? So with his chariots, man. It says, "And every eye shall see him, and also which pierced him, and all kindreds of the earth shall wail because of him. Even so, amen, so be it." So the same way he left is the same way he's coming back. He went up into the clouds, which was the chariots, and he's coming back in the clouds, which are the chariots. To do what? To render judgment upon the nations, but also to save his people Israel, the so-called Black, Hispanics, and Native Americans, with that great deliverance. So real quick, I wanted to grab this. This is the book of Psalms. Salakia. This is the book of Psalms chapter 60 verse 12. And it says, Salakia, 60 verse 12, "Through the Most High we shall do valiantly, for he it is that shall tread down our enemies." Right? The Lord Yahweh Shemel Shah is going to tread down our enemies, man. And who is our enemies? The other nations who have had us in captivity. Matter of fact, let me get that. That's in the book of Nehemiah. Salakia, let me grab that real quick. Salakia, bear with me. My pages is damn near stuck together. Right, so again, you know, I'm gonna grab that real quick. I believe that's Nehemiah 5:9. But again, the Most High is gonna save us from our enemies. Again, by delivering us with that great deliverance, man. You know, so let me grab this scripture real quick. This is the book of Nehemiah, chapter 5, verse 9, and it says, "Also I said, it is not good that ye do. Ought ye not to walk in the fear of our power, because of the reproach of the heathen, our enemies?" Right, so who are the heathens? You know, those that are outside of Israel, which are the other nations, so-called white people, Chinese, Japanese, Africans, and the Arabs, man. Those are our enemies. They have plotted and consulted against the Lord's chosen people. And who is the Lord's chosen people? Going back into Isaiah 44:1. You are the chosen people, you so-called Black, Hispanics, and Native Americans. But out of that chosen, the Most High is going to save Who? The elect out of that chosen. Going back into Sirach 17:10, he said, "For then shall I give the electors wisdom, knowledge, and understanding." And even when you go to the book of Matthew's, what is that, 24:11, he said, for what? He said, I believe that's 20, it's either 24:11, 24:12. He said, but he shall make the time short for the elect's sake. So all these things that's going to happen is so the Lord can deliver the elect with a great deliverance, man. You know, you have these people that sit up here and say, well, the Lord have come for everybody, but that's not according to scriptures. That's not according to biblical prophecy. Biblical prophecy states that the Lord is going to deliver his people. And who is his people? You so-called black, Hispanics, and Native Americans. The Lord said, if I came to save my people from their sins, going back into Matthew's 1:21. And who is his people? Well, if you go back into the book of, let's say, Exodus 3:10, the Lord said, for I shall bring my people Israel out of the land of Egypt. So that's who the Lord's people is. And going back into Malachi 3:6, the scriptures tell you, for the Lord changed not. So the Lord isn't going to change how he feels about his people, or he's going to change who his chosen people are. That's not the case. The Lord's chosen people is going to always be Israel. Matter of fact, before I grab at Matthew's, that'll be Luke 24 and 21, I believe. Let me get this. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 40, verse 1. And it says, comfort ye, my people, saith your power. Speak ye comfortably to Jerusalem, and cry unto her, right? Because Jerusalem is a people before it's a place. And it says that her warfare is accomplished, that her iniquity is pardoned, for she have received of the Lord hands double for all her sins. The voice of the Lord, the voice of him that crieth in the wilderness, prepare ye the way of the Lord, make straight in the desert a highway for our power. So there you go. The Most High is going to deliver you so-called black, Hispanics, and Native Americans, the elect in the 1/3, man. So real quick, let me grab this. This is the book of Luke. The book of Luke, chapter 24, verse 21. And it says, let me see here. Let me see. Luke 24:21. Was it 21:24? Let me see here. I could be backwards. Right. So this is Luke 21:24. I was backwards. So again, going back into our enemies, and the Lord delivering us from our enemies, this is another scripture to also elaborate what I'm saying. So this is Luke 21:24, and it says, and they shall fall by the edge of the sword. And who shall fall by the edge of the sword? You so-called black, Hispanics, and Native Americans. And it says, and shall be led away captive unto all nations. So it wasn't only just one nation that had you so-called black, Hispanics, and Native Americans in captivity. All nations have had us into captivity. When we was in captivity in Egypt, the Syrian captivity, the Babylonian captivity, the Roman, the Greek, the Persian captivity. We've been in many captivities, and the captivity of America of today, which is spiritually Babylon, Rome, and Egypt all over again, is the last captivity we're going to be in. So, and it says, and they shall fall by the edge of the sword, and shall be led away captive unto all nations, and Jerusalem shall be trodden down of the Gentiles until the time of the Gentiles be fulfilled. So until their time be fulfilled, they're going to rule. And as of now, you can see that the Most High is already bringing them down, and he's saving his people by allowing his people to increase in his knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, man. You know, so real quick, let me grab that back. This is the book of Psalms 60 and 12, and it says, through the Most High we shall valiantly, for he it is that shall tread down our enemies, man. So Yahweh Shema Shai, he's gonna tread down our enemies, man. Why? Because at the end of the day, the Lord is who's gonna deliver us out of the hands of our enemies. Real quick, let me grab this. This is Psalm 61 and 3. It says, for thou hast been a shelter for me and a strong tower from the enemy. So at the end of the day, again, Yahweh Shema Shai is who deliver us out of the hands of our enemies, man. This is the book of Psalms 44. I believe that's 44 and 7. It says, but thou hast saved us from our enemies and hast put them to shame that hated us. So the Lord has saved us from our enemies, man. Again, our enemies are those that are of the other nations that's outside of Israel. So this here is the book of Deuteronomy 20 and 4. It says, for the Lord your power is he that goeth with you to fight for you against your enemies, to save you, man. So the Most High is going to save us again from our enemies, from those who prosecute us, from those who afflict us. The Most High is going to deliver us from the hands of them. Matter of fact, let me grab this. This is a book of Zechariah chapter 13, verse 8. And it says, matter of fact, not 13 and 8. Let me see here. I believe it's up a few more verses. Zechariah chapter 13, verse Salakia, bear with me. I'm trying to find that scripture. Thought it was 13 verse 8. Let me see here. The Lord said, for he would deliver us from the hands of that afflicted us. Salakia, I'm trying to find it real quick. I know it's in I believe it was in the book of Zechariah, the 13th chapter. But maybe not. I might just get this other scripture if I can't find it. Let me see here. That's talking about the 2/3. Let me see. Maybe it's Zephaniah. I could be wrong. Or is it but yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and grab this real quick. This is the book of Genesis. I'm gonna grab this again. This is Genesis 45 and 7. And it says, the Most High sent before me you to preserve you a posterity in the earth, and to save your lives by a great deliverance, man. So the Lord Yahweh Shema Shai is going to save Israel with a great deliverance. you know, with those chariots, man. You know, and the Most High showing his power as we speak. You know, there's people, even myself, that have seen, you know, chariots, you know, like lights that comes and that goes, or something that just fly bys real quick. You know, all of that is being shown. You know, even the military right now is seeing things like that, man. Let me see here. I'm still trying to find that one that was in Zechariah. But I can't find it. I guess that wasn't it. Let me go to Zephaniah. See if that was in Zephaniah. Let me see, Salakia, bear with me real quick. Yeah, Salakia, I can't find it. But yeah, you know, the point is that the Lord is going to deliver Israel with a great deliverance. You know, I pretty much got all the scriptures that I wanted to pretty much lay out on the table. Lord willing, you know, I'll make a part 2 of this video. But other than that, man, I want to say Barak de Yahweh, Barak de Yahushua, Barak de Yahweh, Barak de Yahushua, Bahashem Rakakadash. A double honor to the apostles and elders of GMS, and salutation to you brothers out there doing this work of true sincerity. I like to say Mawathala Babel, which is death to Babylon. And Lord willing, this was edifying to you brothers out there doing this work of true sincerity. Salakia for the hold up for trying to find that scripture. But other than that, Shalom.